told you if we started off with fucking vulture noises or raptor noises. Why I keep saying vultures? I
Alan.
would quit.
Alan.
I don't want to hear you.
Alan.
I don't know what your problem is. You're showing some really little dick energy right now.
if you gotta make some noises, I'm gonna get mad.
Expert of little dick energy.
Fuck out of here. Anyways, Alan, how you doing, man?
I'm having to deal with the Chocolate Brothers, and now we're dealing with the Gross Sisters. So
You
I
just
don't know
call us
what
the
to do.
Chocolate Brothers? Trying to insult us?
Yeah, Chocolate Brothers and the Gross Sisters.
Okay, you do know you sound like you said Chocolate Brothers. I'm just saying.
Look, Nick, I don't know what your fantasy is, man, but I ain't involved.
All right. Well, I'm fantasizing about chocolate because Alan hates fat people. He thinks that because I'm fat, I'm doing that. But here's the thing, though.
Wow.
Despite
did
Alan's
you hurt
hate,
yourself with that stretch, man?
no, not at all. Here's the thing, though. Speaking of stretching, Alan is small. I don't know. You're talking shit.
Size.
Alan's always trying to fuck with me, so I'm gonna fuck with him right back. I'm sorry, Alan. Like, we'll restart.
Literally did nothing. You started this.
You told me you're gonna quit. That hurts me. I would be very
I had
offended.
to hear fucking for the second recording today. I've had to hear weird raptor noises.
I'm sorry. Here's the thing, though. The other person that was doing some of these noises as well. Actually, it was two other people doing it. But first of all, the first time she's ever been on here, Rox, what is up? How you doing? Does it feel weird being on here?
Hi.
Hi. How you doing? Why do you? Okay, I'm gonna ask you this really quick too. Why do you have New York as your avatar? I've always wanted to ask you that.
Because I like who she is. I like how loud and random she is, all the jokes that she makes.
Yeah, it probably has a lot to do with how you are because, you know, just so you guys know too, this is the person that actually has calmed Ganja down quite a bit. Ganja isn't the lunatic.
Has she though?
I don't know. I feel like she has.
Nah.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Ganja used to be this one time too, when Ganja first started dating her. He had a whole thing inside this call where he played the Bone Thugs. What was that fucking song, Ganja?
Can't save her.
No, I can't say her. That's for another cause. It was Bone Thugs Crossroads.
Mm-hmm. So we actually had a celebratory fucking thing just saying goodbye to Ho Ganja. Ho Ganja is gone now. He's dead.
He's not dead. He's contained.
Boom, 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 boom. Ganja's gone now. I don't know what the fuck the words are. I actually don't like that song. I don't like the Bone Thugs when they get all like subtle and sad and shit. I don't like that stuff at all. But yeah. Anyways, but people over here in the chat, Adrian's over here saying, Roxy, oh my god. Yeah, Roxy has fans. I know all the ladies of the toast kind of get together and support each other and everything. I get no fucking support from anybody. What the fuck?
And they specifically talk shit about Nick.
They're also on sync with each other.
The entire reason that the ladies of the toast exist is talk shit to Nick.
Yeah, no, probably. But no, man. Kirk's over here saying rest in peace. Rest in peace to Ho Ganja. Madman Mars.
He's not dead.
He is dead. No,
He
he is
doesn't
dead.
deserve a rest in peace. Rest in piss.
Especially after all the shit he gave me.
He still gives you shit though. That didn't change at all.
What are you talking about?
Why do you think we give you so much shit, Alan?
Because y'all suck, and Ryan pointed out I forgot to switch mics.
Oh, really?
You're a genius, Alan. You're a genius.
Wait, I thought you did that for sure. Like I could have sworn you changed it. You had the whole line-in thing there. Or not the line-in, but what's it called? Blue Yeti?
Yeah, he had a line alright, but it wasn't the one for the fucking mic.
Talk really quick and see if it changed.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, you sound great. There you go.
Yeah. Because the thing is, I had my headset mic on. I forgot to do my. Luckily, Ryan pointed it
Also,
out.
I'm just gonna say real quick, just in case you don't bother switching to them, the YouTube is dead.
YouTube is dead?
Yeah, I'm not getting any live streams from my subscription.
Really? Because I don't know how our boy Ryan's watching. Let me see.
Look, not just terrible technology. I'm just gonna go with the chat on this one.
Yeah, let me see. I'm playing right now. Yep, it's live. So
Okay, so my shit's just fucking up then. All right, I'll just go take it to the back and just give it a spanking.
It's all
Thanks
your
for
fault.
stopping the show.
No, it's
You're
good. No,
welcome.
I'm glad he does that. Like anytime you guys see something wrong, make sure to let us know. And then obviously, guys in here, if something's wrong, make sure to tell me, and I'll check it out and everything too.
No, I've had to deal with ganja shit all day today, so.
Yeah, because apparently you did what multi fucking hours of recording for one of us and
The
all this
whole
shit going on.
day. Yeah, because we did. We met up to do a recording for the Illuminati. That'll probably be up in a couple of days. Check that out on, I guess, the new Patreon. And then immediately afterwards, I was getting hounded by fucking Jessica. We gotta do the breakfast. I'm like, fine. So I just immediately jumped to another recording. So I did like 6 hours straight of recording.
Justin could not work for me. I would fuck with him too much. I'll just send a message back. Bitch, I saw that post. No, he don't.
Oh damn! Yeah, no, but here's the thing though too. Speaking of one of us, all of you guys here, you guys are probably big, followers of the Spill crew back in the day and everything too. And we weren't even planning on saying anything about this. I'll make this really, really short. Chris Cox actually does need lots of help. People kind of like just getting the word out there for one of us, etc. So if you guys like your boy Alan over here, make sure to follow his stuff. And then at the meantime too, leave comments on their particular audio reviews and whatnot. Like, let them know what Alan's doing right, because you know that he's the best part about that shit.
Or wrong. It's way more hilarious when people like calling me out for stupid shit, like me saying that Detective Pikachu should be nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah, but right or wrong, even with us too. I mean, I always push it for the chat tab, but this time go ahead and they need it. You know what I mean? Like over here, I mean, we need it too in a sense, but at the same time, like I'm just gonna argue with you guys. Like, oh, Nick, you're
Fuck
right
that
about
shit.
this.
Man, send us some money, man. Chris Costa already got some money. You good?
Well, I'm not even talking about money. I ain't telling nobody to spend no money on anything, because that shit needs to be better before you get some money. But make sure to go over there, though, and just kind of spread the word, because if you guys don't like it, there is people within the community that do actually like kind of stuff like that. And Chris Cox does care a lot about like his fucking media and everything, too. And personally, I'm not saying this because I'll tell Alan when his reviews suck. I'm letting you know straight up, like, he's really, really good on one of us. The way we do reviews here is a little more loose and kind of like, I don't know. Half the time we just don't give a fuck.
Loose coochie.
But Rock's Kitchen Boy.
Any
That ain't
fucking
my
way.
boy.
I started working with one of fuck all of y'all. I started working with one of us because of how much I hated Gotham, and me and Justin just always had natural chemistry on the fucking show. So he asked me to join, and ever since then I've been basically like at least once a week doing something for them. And I really like working with them because it gives me an opportunity to get not only better at reviewing, which makes this show more entertaining, but it also teaches me enough to actually know what I'm talking about. Because sometimes like I have an opinion, but I don't know how to word it. So I just kind of say whatever thing pops into my head. But it's like, oh wait, no, you didn't use the right word. So then Nick will call me out for some shit and then never forget it for 7 fucking years and then misquote me. So it's like, it's taught me to be a better reviewer. So I do want this site to continue because I love working with them and I like doing as much stuff as they get. Even though 90% of what I watch for Screen Squad is trash, it's still a lot of fun to review.
And I have unconfirmed reports that he's took his virginity in Canada. That happened.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I also have unconfirmed reports you don't know how to speak properly.
Yeah, no, that's a confirmed, man. That's not no alien shit.
What the fuck? Here's the thing, though, too. Metropolis. You guys can actually go over there, too, because both Alan and Ganja do stuff for them as well. So, yeah, definitely check them out, too. I'm actually going to show it on screen if my XSplit will work. Come on, XSplit. What the fuck? But, yeah, here they are. Yeah, just go to Metropolis, too, and just kind of go in there and give them an opinion. Like, anyone in this community and people watching this show, too, like, make sure to kind of spread just, like, knowledge. And just, like, hey, like, this person does this and this person does that. I know Adrian does her blog still and everything, too, which she's a really, really good writer. So, definitely check that shit out, too. So, yeah, any of those things, like, I'll stop with the whole fucking, like, advertising part of this shit. But it's just, like, one of those things where...
Now go to dtmerch.com and get your shit.
No, do not do that shit. No.
If you put in the promo code, in that chat attack, you actually get charged an extra 30%.
I wish that was a fucking case.
That'd be fucking amazing. You get charged for what?
Yeah, no, but I actually have a bad taste in my mouth for shit as far as our shirts go because of certain things from certain people in the past.
Hey, man, I don't know how to make turds. Well, no, I don't know how to make turds properly either. But when it comes to making shirts, I had to reach out to...
Shut up.
No, I had to
I
reach
don't know how
out
to
to
shit properly.
in order to get those shirts done, all right? The Taco Man may have been an asshole, but at least those shirts came out clean.
Rox, how much do you pull up with him talking about how much he can't take turds correctly or any kind of weird shit like that?
Too damn often. I'm just used to it at this point.
Yeah, no.
I told her I was going to give her an organism once.
Yeah, don't. Why'd you? No. Anyways,
Call me Alan.
Yeah, I did.
Brittany wishes I could just forget that.
Anyways, we're gonna go. I see in the chat too. There's like, yeah, buy a shit, buy the fucking shirt. Adrian's talking about, and they gave me a compliment. Yes, but don't get too fucking happy about that shit.
Don't get used to it. He'll immediately insult you.
I literally just did. It was fun as fuck. I'm sorry, but you talk a lot of shit too, Adrian. God damn it. But yeah, Miami is gonna be happening, and I will, be happy with all you guys. I think everyone in the chat right here is pretty much going.
Take as many photos as possible. This man is like Dorian Gray.
What the fuck does that mean?
People that get it.
Oh wow. Well,
I don't think they do.
Yeah, none of us here.
Uncultured swine.
Here's the thing that I don't get, and you're uncultured as fuck. But here's the thing, though. I'm pretty uncultured too, as well as I'm kind of like just removed from whatever the shit that's going on right now, as far as the shooting and stuff. Apparently, there's a third shoot. I didn't know about it, and I know we don't normally get like super intense with our conversations about the kind of stuff. But man, I was really hyped about this fucking movie, The Hunt. Like, we were talking about this trailer a while back. Like, dude, it's gonna be great. We're gonna watch this fucking thing. It's gonna be awesome. And now Universal's canceling it. And I feel like they kind of missed a point with something like this, because if you get rid of something like The Hunt, how many more fucking movies that are in development right now that you have to get rid of? Like, it doesn't feel like they're solving anything. But go ahead.
Well, again, it's not one of those things where it's like, I fucking hate how it's on the burden of the media to solve the problems that the people that we elect are supposed to solve these fucking problems. But I got to give them kudos to this, because it's like, they want to release this. I don't know. They probably want to release this in a couple of months. But like, yeah, this is a very violent, not necessarily glorifying gun violence, but this is a very violent movie that involves guns and shootings and all that stuff. And a very, very violent string of shootings just happened. Let's not release this because, hey, you know what? Maybe it'll make some money, but it's like, it's not worth the bad press. So like, you know what? We're going to cancel it. It'll probably come out next year. Maybe they'll just pick a random time just to release it again. But it's like, it's not that big of a movie. And it's like, I got to give them somewhat of a kudos, because not like the government's like, hey, you get rid of that violent shit while we sell guns to fucking whoever the fuck. They're like, you know what? We don't want to sit there and look bad. We don't want to insult like people's memories. So we're just going to fucking not release it and maybe release it at a different time when it's not as, I guess, hot right now.
Yeah, and Rock's going to ask you really quick, too. Do you feel like this is a step in the right direction for them to do this? Or do you think it's like, yeah, you're kind of missing the point?
To be honest, I think they're missing the point. I'd rather they just shine a light on it. But let's be honest, no matter what we do at this point, there's always going to be naysayers. There's always going to be people that blame everything else. And honestly, I'm just sick of it at this point. But at least it would be nice to kind of bring it up to the media. Like, hey, this is going on. This isn't just something fictional. You know, it's just there.
No, I definitely agree, because like that's the thing too, is like, I know that it's good that someone's at least fucking trying. Like, they're trying more than like every fucking buddy else is trying, you know. But at the same time, like, when you try in the wrong direction, are you really getting anything solved? And it's like, that's the thing that really sucks about this. Like, I feel like if this effort was put towards other things, like, I mean, we'll talk about this in a bit too, but like the whole Walmart of it all, when they're taking down like you know, pictures of guns and advertisements for like games with violence. Well, you still have a gun section, motherfucker. Like, I think the actual M16s behind the counter might be a bigger, like, influence.
Yeah, well, why blame the actual items? You know, guns don't kill, people kill. Ban people from Walmart. Hey, well, if you're a person, you're not allowed at Walmart.
See, that's one thing that I even hate. Like, my problem is, like, when you have responsible gun owners, and one day I wish to be a gun owner, especially because these white people are going crazy, and I need to protect myself. But when it comes to, like, all the stuff that people push in the media, people that are responsible gun owners, they don't really do all this shit. It's mostly people with an agenda and use these guns as a means to act out that agenda. And the problem with that is people say they want to solve the issue at hand, and they always use the excuse, oh, it's a mental health crisis, man. It's because people weren't raised properly in the house and all that stuff. Most of the time, these people are either fascists, and we don't consider them like a group that should be washed. Like, the FBI doesn't consider them a threat, even though they go around killing people. Or they're extremely dangerous, mentally ill people that have white nationalist thoughts. Like, these guys have not been out of the ordinary. Like, you got maybe a few, like the Virginia Tech shooter that was a legit paranoid schizophrenic. But even at that time, like, responsible gun owner laws, like that people that actually own guns want to get passed, like background checks, and people that actually with mental illness do not allow to own firearms because they cannot technically own one safely. It's mostly just the gun industry that's blocking this, and the fucking senators and congressmen that are bought by them.
Yeah. Let's hey guys, remember, gun violence is a mental health issue. As we immediately cut all the funding to every single mental health facility in the country. Like, hey, we created the solution to this problem, and now we're gutting the actual solution to the problem. It's like, you're just using this as a deflection tool because you don't want to sit there and be like, oh, it's my fault. No one wants to sit there. It's like, oh, it's my fault because this law got passed and this shooters are happening. No, it's their fault. Yell at them. It's like, man, fuck off.
Yeah, and Jack, I'm gonna ask you too. Do you feel like this is a step in the right direction, or do you feel it's pretty much like a misdirection, just like everything else is?
It's definitely a misdirection. Like, it's like this whole thing is a complete smokescreen. You can't get rid of movies with guns and say like, oh yeah, this is definitely going to do something about these white supremacists, Nazis, like shooting up places. Like, it's not going to do anything.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing too, is like, you know, we had almost like, I don't think it was very heated, but me and you, Alan, were talking about video games a little while ago, talking about like,
God.
Yeah, I mean, before I even continue on, because I'll make it really, really short, but do you think we should have a conversation about this now, or do you think you don't want to repeat that from earlier?
I don't mind, but understand that because I get heated, like when we were talking about like regular shit, like on shit on a Marvel movie, for instance, and you see the level of heat I get to. That's a different level of heat that I get to if I'm talking about, it's like, this is real. This is a real problem. This is the same level of heat I'll get to if someone brings up anti-vax issues to me. where I'm legit mad. So it's like I might not be able to stop, or I might be going way too fast. I'm not going to be show angry. I'm not going to be able to contain it within the show or make it funny. I'm going to legit just be mad. So
But
it's up to you.
To the power of crystals and old harmonic
Oh, don't get me
chants,
started.
can cure cancer, man.
We can't. In some cases, those will cause cancer if you breathe them in properly.
Here's the thing. So the thing that I'm scared to bring, or I was scared until now. I mean, I'm pretty cool that me and Ellen are gonna get along here. But like, I've been so sick of the gaming industry in general, and what I'm seeing now, and like, here's the thing. Before I even continue on, pretext-wise, I do not feel like games are responsible for any of these violent things going on. But the thing that I'm starting to get a little upset about with social media is that everyone's posting these little like memes saying like,
Yeah.
you know, politics says that, you know, games are violent, and then here's me innocently playing Frogger or Super Mario Brothers or Pac-Man. Yeah, real violent fucking politics, you know, you fucking losers, you Republicans. And I'm like, okay, here's the thing. They don't make a point because they're at such an extreme saying that, you know, these games cause all these fucking horrible things. But you're taking it to an extreme too, where not anything from the gaming industry has any kind of influence on anybody.
Okay.
That's where I have an issue with, because we just, I mean, 2013, this game came out, Grand Theft Auto 5, one of the biggest sellers of all time. So
Damn,
it's like,
6 years ago.
yeah, I know, right? Isn't it crazy? You know, and then it got like released constantly too. Like
Yeah.
it had a release originally, then 2 months later it was on PC, and then like, a year later it was on the new generation of consoles. So like, you know, this game comes out and there's shit in here where it's like, I would never let my fucking kid play it. I'm not a dude who's like, hey, I'm not gonna let my kid play like any other Grand Theft Auto game or a fighting game or a zombie game. But this shit like forces you in situations where you have to have sex. It forces you in situations where you have to have a torture scene where your character, your controller, you're torturing a man who's probably innocent, and you're ripping his nipples off and doing all that kind of shit. It's like, for me, when we're trying our best to ignore that shit like that exists, that's when we just went the complete other extreme with it, and now you're fucking wrong too. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, I have to fundamentally disagree with that statement because a lot of they're basically showcasing this blame on the video games, just like how politicians have always been trying to shove media as the problem for society's problems. They've been doing that since the invention of the fucking radio, invention of fucking books, where they're like, oh, books will be the downfall of the youth, radio's gonna be the downfall of the youth. All this violence being portrayed in fucking books and radio plays and fucking movies and TV shows, that's what's going to cause all the problems because it's used as a deflection tool. Now, are those things bad? Of course, those things are bad. But there have been, like, since fucking Jack Thompson was trying to shut down Vice City, there have been studies that have showcased people over like 5-6 year time periods with video games and testing out the violence. And we've shown no correlation because the violence that we see in media doesn't get absorbed the same way a positive emotion like something we see in a romantic comedy like love or sadness gets absorbed. Like, for instance, when they took the suicide scene out of 13 Reasons Why. Those emotions get absorbed by us way more because we're more empathetic. When it comes to violence, it's a different subset of emotions we absorb. Usually when, for instance, a lot of horror fans are not psychopathic murderers. They've been watching people get their heads decapitated for 30 fucking years. What do you see when you're like, oh, that's awesome? They think of it as more of a like somebody watching an action movie, for instance. They're not likely to emulate the emotions. They're likely just to kind of look at it and be like, or they're likely to laugh at it because it looks so fake, or to know it's fantasy. Even younger kids looking at this kind of stuff. My problem is that they're not saying things like, oh, video games like Modern Warfare and GTA cause it. No, they're putting the whole blanket off. So that meme coming up is basically like when they blame Marilyn Manson for the Columbine shooting, and they're like, oh, music. That's basically, oh, music causes violence, and then the meme would be like me listening to Katy Perry. It's like you blamed an entire subgenre of media for current day problems when these problems have been around since before the invention of these products. So it's like, is just a deflection tool so that we don't have to sit there and say you're the fucking problem. No. It's this thing.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing, man. Like, we'll always kind of disagree with some of these things. I mean, I agree with most of what you said, but yeah, like, I mean, even in movies, that's another thing too. Like, I forgot what this movie was called, and hopefully you remember it too. But it was about this kid. I think it was actually based on a true story, and it's the white kid from Freddy vs. Jason. That's not the only thing I remember him from. And basically, what he does is his dad is, he was in the army, and he has like an M16 at the house and an AK-47 and all that stuff, and SWAT gear. And he basically puts it all on, and he just goes like just to a fucking little strip mall and just kills everybody. Goes inside stores, kills them too.
Right.
And this was a popular fucking movie, like super popular. And I'm like, in situations like that, like The Hunt, I don't get. The Hunt, I think, should not have been canceled, and Universal just being a little too fucking comfortable, or not comfortable, but too cautious. But there's other movies that do come out that I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what in the holy shit?
Yeah.
and then games too, like Rape Day. We just talked about that 4 months ago, and I'm like, how the fuck did Rape Day get as much talk about it as well as it almost got released on Steam, and then people were upset because the game wasn't released? It's like, there's no experience in Rape Day that you should defend that I need to play that fucking game. Like, I don't give a fuck how fun it is. It's fucking Rape Day. You're raping somebody.
And the thing is, you gotta sense, like, I agree with you that there's a lot of times the video game industry will try to push really crazy fucking stupid things. Hell, Steam tried to fucking get rid of Hatred, which was just a game about murdering as many innocent civilians as possible as doing some edgelord shit. And they straight said, hey, we don't want this on our platform, and people cried censorship. So it's like, when it came to Rape Day, I just think they didn't want to deal with the fucking censorship bullshit that they dealt with the last time they tried to do this. So it is this fucking balancing act, because like Moxie said something earlier, that there's always going to be naysayers to anything you fucking do. So Steam has gone to the point where they don't give a fuck anymore. They're like, we'll just put anything on here because there's less people fucking crying censorship if we do fucking nothing than people crying, oh, this is bad for the platform. So it's just an issue of just how much shit are you willing to take, because there are people, unfortunately, no one here is going to defend that game, but there are people that are going to defend free fucking speech. We know a few people that defend free fucking speech and no censorship. So it's just one of those fucking issues where, and I said this before in an earlier conversation, movies have not really changed since their inception. Maybe they got better technology and CGI is really the most recent change, but making movies has not really changed. You get the same amount of stuff, just better equipment. Video games, every decade they change. The technology completely changes, the industry changes. So there's no real foundation for it yet. It'll eventually get there, but there's no real foundation for what the hell the video game industry is. That's why there's so much people basically taking advantage of it and trying to steal as much money, because there's no real idea of what the fuck this industry even is. It's just right now an entertainment industry that's really, really new. So it's like, I don't want to sit there and have it be the problem, because that's what it is. It's the newest industry, so everyone's blaming it. They stopped blaming movies and they stopped blaming fucking TV, so now they're blaming video games.
Well, you also got answers for some questions when it comes to certain video games, especially ones that go around certain ultra like right-wing websites like 4chan, 8chan, where their whole goal is to propagate this certain like very hostile ideologies, beliefs, things that are almost on this level of just permitting genocide. And that's always been the problem with a lot of the Flash game scene when that first happened in the 90s and early 2000s, where a lot of these KKK Nazi groups would have like low-time game developers make these games that people can act out their fantasies of murder and stuff like that. And those things we can all agree is wrong and it should be banned and stuff like that. The problem is you got a lot of people nowadays, especially people that come off the Ayn Rand belief that they should be allowed to show anything, allowed to have any type of art, even if it's risky or fucking put you in an uncomfortable spot, and the goal is to assault you and harass you and make you feel like you're either anger or confusion or some kind of emotional response to the art. And a lot of these games that do that are because people are trying to listen to that response either for a market itself, similar to what happened with Grand Theft Auto and a lot of stuff that they do, is it sells and gives people that curiosity to commit these acts themselves within the video game context. That's a specific thing we're there. But there is a certain level of the population that does look at these things and takes it as face value. Like, I forgot what kid, I think it was a kid or a high school student, either college or high school. They actually tried to attempt a robbery in the style that the Grand Theft Auto 5 game plans out. And they're idiots and they're dumb, but you can't just wipe a clean slate and say, like, no one acts these things out. There's going to be a small population that are going to get the dumbest fucking ideas possible from these media. My question is, at what point do we say no is enough? Because I get what your point with Hatred, where it's just a mass killer simulator, and any reasonable any company or even government would censor that stuff, because honestly that doesn't promote anything except vile hate and gives people a sense of being active and hurting other people for no reason except the joy of hurting people. Whereas at least in games like Manhunt, you have the excuse there, but in the end it still just gives you the pleasure of killing somebody, even though you're a prisoner trying to escape from your life from a snuff film. At the end of the day, you are brutally killing these people.
Okay, and I get what you're saying, that there's always going to be this small subset of the population that's going to be naturally attuned to violence, but that's not I'm going to say that's not necessarily a problem that the media needs to solve. You're basically saying, like, okay, because there's enough of a population, and small doesn't fucking matter at this goddamn point. People are fucking dying left and right. But there's enough of a population that's going to be influenced by the media there. My problem is you're scapegoating it. You're not solving the problem. You're basically saying video games are violent, so what? We stop. No more violent video games. Every game is
No, I'm not saying that. But at one
that's
point,
an extreme. Like, we're not.
Yeah,
I'm
not going
extreme,
to.
But imagine if they did, like, okay, video game industry has to stop making violent fucking stuff so that we can quote unquote try to solve this problem. There's still so much violent media that you're just picking this one very popular fucking branch of media to be the scapegoat, and it's not solving it's not even going to help the fucking problem. It's not going to do anything to the fucking problem. It's just a scapegoat until you come up with another one.
Well, that's not my point. My point is these actual like one individual games or series or game developers that actually do go out and make these video games just for the masochistic and sadistic approach of making these digital characters suffer because you can't get that outlet off of humans. Like, we can't doubt that doesn't exist in video games. It's a significant factor to some people who play video games, especially the more violent ones. I know, like, we're not talking about all video games, but honestly, when we talk about games, especially me, especially now that VR is coming to thing, there is a question now that how much of this media will influence the player. And I would like to have this conversation with actual legit scientists, therapists, and people who want to regulate.
Yeah, like my hackers. Yeah.
What happened?
I'm fucking with you. I'm sorry.
No, but that goes to my point. Like, I would like to see it actually regulated by people that actually believe in certain things that will help better human beings than just people that are trying to use it as a scapegoat so they can still make money off the gun lobby. They're like, at the end of the day, the people that still say it's a mental health crisis, so they blame violent video games and violent media, they're not legitimate in their criticism because they use it as a scapegoat. They're not actually trying to look at these things as, are they causing these problems or are they not? Yeah, we have 20-year studies, but in terms of like VR, I've always wanted to question because it brings people closer to the violence. But even at that point, it's more of an honest curiosity and a sense for knowledge, whereas these people are, like I said, just using it for a scapegoat and a quick way to detract people from the easy gun sales and the actual common sense gun regulation laws we should have in this country.
And Jay, I want to ask you really quick too, just based on everything I said earlier about talking about, like, maybe there's a slight point of this where, people might be over exaggerating the innocence and the whole lacking of what video games can cause as far as violence and people and everything. Do you agree with that at all, or do you think that in this particular situation I'm full of shit and you just super disagree with me?
Honestly, I do think video games do have to have something to do with violence and little children playing like very violent video games. Mm-hmm. But do basically, they like to act out shit. But it's not just the video games, though. There's a whole bunch of other factors that go into that as well, such as like life at home or like are they abused, shit like that makes them desensitized later in life to do something like this. And also it's usually, white kids.
Yeah.
But with these attacks, obviously, like you said before, it had nothing to do with video games. But at the same time, I am thinking that yeah, there is probably some sort of link there. They probably did play games earlier in life, but once again, has a link to a bad childhood, a whole bunch of other shit, and also being on certain like video game boards or anything like that basically love getting like the white young teenage gamers up all together and basically trying to, manipulate them and saying like, oh yeah, like black people are trying to take everything away from us, like Mexicans are trying to take everything away from us, shit like that.
Yeah.
I am.
Damn.
Damn, but the thing is again, to Emily, something we're saying in the chat, it's like there have been studies and tests from kids to adults about how aggression, not necessarily just video games, just with media, like is aggression something that's able to be passed down? Like, are you going to necessarily emulate something exactly that you see, like for instance, the hatred? And there's shown that there is no link between this. But as far as something Gon said earlier about VR is very new because it adds a level of immersion that's never happened in video games, where you're straight in control, you feel like you're there. Again, I still have to go with the same thing because there is still this very level of the fact that you got to strap on so much shit. It still breaks that level where it's not 100% immersive because you still feel the headset on you, controls in your hand, and all that stuff. That disconnect means that even if you're emulating it, still part of you knows that it's not real. It's gonna get to the point where you have to literally have the Matrix level of immersion, where you sit in a chair and your entire body's emulated before you have to have those real conversations of how much does media influence a person. And it's like now we're going to crazy degrees, but there is always an innate level of violence within people. That's how it goes. And so the question isn't whether or not video games get violent. Does that innate level of violence is it exacerbated by media?
I feel like it does desensitize a lot of people to violence.
I have to disagree because like me and Nick, like we have two completely different backgrounds, and we both grew up on Mortal Kombat, the game that started the fucking ESRB. And
I will tell you this right now, and this might put me on some fucking list, but when I play Grand Theft Auto 5, I usually play it when I'm really, really mad, and I just run over people. So like, there's something to that, man.
Okay, but there's something to that, but like it's emulating a aggression level, but like you've driven before. Have you ever just said fuck it, I'm gonna run someone over? Or just said, fuck it, I feel like running someone over? You might have been mad and thinking in your head, but like the actual act of doing it in real life is very, very different. Because like the reason you can do it so easily without even a second thought, you just drive on the sidewalk, it's because there are no consequences for you doing whatever the fuck you want in a video game. As soon as it steps outside, that's why we're not always motherfucker. How much of it grew up on Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat? We're not fighting everyone literally with fucking.
There are a lot of kids who try to reenact those fight things though.
Like me.
There are a lot of kids reenact that, but like not to the same fucking level where they're willing to murder somebody just because they saw it in a video game.
But
a lot of stuff
not murder, but like they do reenact it.
And to Ruthless's point too, by the way, because I know you brought that up earlier, Alien.
Yeah.
Alan, holy shit,
Alien.
Yikes.
All in.
I'm gonna clap them cheeks, boy.
But the thing
Yeah,
is,
you and fucking Ganja could be Wendy's employees with how many times you mispronounced my fucking name.
What the fuck does that, man? What? Here's the thing, Ruthless. He said, like, you know, I mean, I can't scroll up on screen, but he was basically talking about like how, yeah, it's not the video games that cause the violence; it's also people growing up in certain areas, and then games kind of accentuate that particular thirst for that violence that you already see in the game. You know, one big thing. I don't know how you grew up, but I grew up, you know, I mean, somewhat privileged, but at the same time, like, I was around an atmosphere that I would have beat the fuck out people just because of the area that I was in. Like, it was gonna happen anyway.
But do you also feel like you, as like being a gamer and yourself and being a person of color, do you feel like other races are basically taking certain things away from you, so it's not just focused on you, so therefore you have to go out and like reenact violence?
No, but that goes to the whole. I mean, I don't want to like call it white people or anything, but it's like, so I mean, that guy in El Paso, Texas, they went to his social media and he was literally talking about Trump's speech and just like, you know, everything was pro-Trump.
Yeah, like the whole video game thing is 100% a smoke screen. The video game thing had nothing to do with what happened with that. Like, he basically said, yeah, this is Trump. I'm basically doing this shit for Trump.
Yeah. And the thing is, to go to what Jet said earlier, it's the home life is way, way more important. Because, like, for me, I grew up, and I've said this before, I was massively bullied every day for, like, from kindergarten to fucking grade 6. So, like, a good 7 years of my fucking life because of my height. And that made, like, I had to become a violent person in order to fucking defend myself. Video games never exacerbated that. If anything, they gave me an escape. So it's like I could either deal with my aggression through that or just escape from it and not have to fucking think about it. So it's like people forget that video games can be very therapeutic, even the violent ones. And they show studies like where people can basically deal with the stuff so that they can be in a world where they can solve their problems in a world outside. That's why people love media so much.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and I guess we're all in agreement too, you know, just the fact that, you know, maybe the games don't cause all that much violence, but and I'm gonna go
like
into
they cause a very like different problem. Let's say like Fortnite caused a lot of fucking problems.
Thank you.
That I don't want to get into, but that basically doesn't have to do with violence, but a whole bunch of steal.
Oh, that's different. Yeah, that's a completely
like,
separate.
Video games like aren't like free of basically causing problems, but this problem in particular, this shooting shit, I wouldn't blame this on video games.
Oh, yeah,
it's basically racist.
There are too many.
Yeah, no, but I wanted to ask Rox really quick too, like, because I mean now we're all on this one side, so hopefully you're not by yourself on this other end. But I mean, what do you feel about that? Like, how much percentage wise, or whatever the case you want to kind of like equate it to? I mean, how much do you think that games kind of lead to violence, if at all? I mean, do you think at any point here that maybe people might be kind of pretending games are too innocent?
Okay, I was gonna make a joke there, but y'all might take me seriously, so no. Yes, all video game violence leads to gun shootings, that's why. No, but for real though. Yeah. There obviously has to be some sort of trauma coming from the home life, and I do know kids who went through troubled childhoods and they did use that as an outlet to escape. And to some extent, they did act out certain things that they saw. Like, if they watched wrestling, they would do that, like those kinds of moves on their friends. If they watched Jackass, they would like try to hop in shopping carts and try to like smash into cars and shit. But it's not to say that like every single thing that you watch or see, everyone's going to act it out. There always has to be more of a focus on what went on in that child's past, what went on like when they were growing up, that makes them feel a need to kind of act things out or take things out. Because it's never just a spur of the moment, out of the blue kind of thing.
And trust me, I'm not trying to go after video games, but like, you know, to move away from the shooting of it all, I do have to explain too that I personally feel a little bit, and this is where Alan probably get the most mad at me, but I do feel like games are very, very unhealthy for people. I mean, Jed just brought it up with the Fortnite stuff. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel has a segment every year where he just turns off the TV while they're playing Fortnite, and the kids act like they're fucking robots. It's like a horror movie. Like, imagine if you just set the control mode off of like the Chucky doll, and it's like, blah, I'm gonna kill your cat and fucking go crazy.
Obviously, there are a lot of issues that with video games, like a lot. Like, I'm not gonna say they're completely free of blame. There are problems I have with fucking certain video games, and mostly just the fans of anything. Like,
even
that's
so,
always
too.
gonna be my biggest problem is just the people, because there's so many times where I'm just like face palming, going, guys, it's not that big of a deal. Calm down.
My favorite thing is those people that still say that shit. Like, if they were watching their Fox News, you came and just turn their television off, they would just lose their goddamn shit. That ain't no different. Like, if I wanted to fuck with like the boomer generation, just come by and turn off their Jimmy Kimmel, they would lose their shit just as much as.
That happened to me pretty often at the home. I'm gonna be honest. I had to fight. How many bitches at that work did I had to like fucking fight just to get them to do something? With me, like,
don't turn off my Matlock, bitch.
And you gotta understand, Nick, is I hate that shit because Jimmy, like, I'm not saying Jimmy Kimmel's doing this on purpose. Maybe it's the producers, maybe people in the background, but they're like,
Jimmy Kimmel's an old fucking man.
Okay, yeah, but the thing is, yeah, he's old man. So it's like, okay, he's gonna do what they always do with this propaganda, and this is propaganda. They're like, okay, we're either gonna tell the kids to act crazier, or we're gonna find kids that have already had problems. Like, oh, we know this kid has problems because their parents filed whatever the fuck to get some therapy. So we know that this kid's gonna act crazy if we turn it off. So it's just to make it. It's literally just to make it look bad. Fortnite has its fucking issues, but don't try to sit there and make it look worse than it fucking is by just basically making kids start screaming like they have this crazy addiction. Like 90s kids would have done like something similar if you turned off fucking Pokemon.
I don't know what y'all doing with all this addictive addictive ass stuff in y'all entertainment. Bitch, you got addicted to cocaine in the 80s. What are you talking about?
Or imagine if they would have done the same thing if someone turned off the Pokemon theme as soon as it goes, "Do you want to be?" and then cuts it off. The kids would have been screaming in the fucking 90s too. So don't fucking.
It ties into parenting as well too. Because how many times have you gone somewhere and you see a mom just fucking chuck a tablet at her kid, to shut up instead of actually talking to that kid or doing some kind of thing like, "Yo, you don't sit your ass. If you don't sit down, I'm gonna beat your ass."
I work at the airport and I see that constantly.
But one thing I want to bring up too, really quick, Alan, Ganja, Rocks, all of you guys, really quick. I'm gonna go one by one. Is gambling a sickness?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Gambling can be addicted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me why that this video game industry, and I love Rockstar, but tell me why on top of everything else that I've been bringing up Grand Theft Auto and Rockstar throughout this whole conversation about violence and guns and killing and death and all that shit. Tell me why now we're forcing them to do this casino shit where it's little kids. Let's make sure to get addicted and sick to gambling really fucking quick. Let's not wait till they're 21 or whatever. Let's let them get fucked up on this before the age of fucking 10.
Okay, good. An actual problem that's in the video game industry that we can solve within the video game industry. That's actually a problem that not necessarily they caused, but they emulated from the casinos. It's one of those things where it's like, this is...
Oh, no, that's travesty. We're copping you guys now.
Hey, it's a back and forth cycle. Basically, it's the whole arm. It's the arm shaking, fucking like the fucking Arnold and whatever.
Dylan.
Like,
yeah, Carl Weathers.
It's literally that, Ganja. We're both feeding off each other.
Casinos and fucking microtransactions. Your wallet.
Pretty much. But one of the things is that, like I said earlier, is the video game industry is almost the Wild West when it comes to laws. It's like we're basically making it up as we go along. The ESRB is only 20 years old. Like. Barely 20. Like that is it basically barely. It can't even drink yet. That's how fucking new the rating board for this thing is. So it's like, I get this is a problem. I'm not trying to make light of it. This is a problem. It's a problem that varies between developer to the fucking developer. You go to Rockstar and you're like, holy shit. You go to EA, you're like, oh god, fucking shoot me. Then you go to some other people like, oh, okay, that's kind of hidden. It's not that big of a deal. So it's like, this is an issue that varies from company to company, but it's also a problem that there's no regulatory union that actually runs the video game industry. So it's just whoever the fuck does whatever they want till they get called out by the government. And that's the biggest problem with the video game industry is there's no overall regulation to it. It's just people doing whatever the fuck they want until literally like a president say, hey, stop. Like that's what's happening. And because it makes so much money and they're able to kick back to the politicians, nobody fucking cares.
Yeah, because that's the thing too. Is like, I mean, and you guys talking about like experiences you guys had with, your jobs and everything. I fucking worked at this video game place, and there'll be people coming in. It's like, yeah, I got this dent on my fucking computer, and or even someone coming in like, yeah, all my money is gone. I don't know shit about video games, but apparently my kid bought stuff with my card. What the fuck? And I called them, and they don't want to give my money back. Is there something you guys can do? Like, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. I mean, we just do like hardware repairs. We don't do shit with software.
Yeah.
But it's like they don't know what to do, and it's like, wait, so tell me this, sir. Like someone had to literally tell me. It's like, wait, so you're saying to buy like the fake costumes, like these are not real helmets and shit, but my kid spent $70 on fake $700 to buy a thing that doesn't change the game, just the way I look. They would have earned if we just kept playing it, and I can't get my money back. There's nothing you can do. I'm like, yeah. He's like, I just got fucking robbed. I'm like, I know. Isn't that
So-
crazy?
Beat their ass.
I got so okay. Yes, beat their ass. So yeah, two things that I want to say. One, this is the exact same issue. Well, not the exact same. This is a similar issue to you. You remember watching cartoons back in the day, and it's like some kid takes their mom's credit card and then or just goes on the phone and talks for 40 hours and runs up the phone bill. It's like, is this an issue that needs to be stopped by regulatory unions and the video game industry? Of course it is. Should that kid have had access to your credit card? Of course not. If you know that you're responsible, like. It got to the point, and this I don't want to say this started with TV, but this has always been a problem. Is that at what point do we put onus on the people raising it? Because like I grew up with the video games. I might not have had access to microtransactions when I was a kid, but I want to buy video games. And my parents told me no. Like no, you don't have your money. Go work, go get your own money. Then you can buy whatever the fuck you want. Which is why I'm horrible money now.
Back pages. That's when he started hooking on back pages.
Stupid ass.
No, but it's like it's that issue of like at one point do we put onus on the people? It's like, how did that kid get a credit card? Did he put a gun to you and just take your fucking number? Or did you put it on the fucking video game console because you want to buy them a game and then didn't realize like how this fucking works? It's
or did PSN and Epic Games act like the fucking pervert that's in a white van with the candy? Hey kid, you want some candy? Here. Yeah, give me your fucking like dad's goddamn credit card. Oh yeah, let's ring this shit up. Yeah, kid, fuck yeah. It's like
okay, but if you're kid, let's say tomorrow, let's say one of us has a kid and they're like, oh, I want to buy this Fortnite skin. It's only like $1, whatever the hell. What are you gonna do? You're gonna put your PayPal in. Now, if you don't know what the fuck, if you don't give a fuck about anything, usually, but whatever, and go in. But if you've ever done any online purchase ever, there's always an option to stay signed in. You could just unclick that. So anytime they have to buy something else, they have to go to you. So that way you know where your purchases are. That's an option on there. So it's like, yes, as much as there's a situation where there's a guy in the van saying, come here, kids. If that kid has no fucking money, the van's going to drive off. So it's like.
Well, I mean, let's be fair. Like, there's some things we can't always blame the parents for. And honestly, like, this microtransaction shit, like, is one where I can actually say, like, yeah, you know what? You can't always blame the parents for this. I'm going to go ahead and tell a personal story here. I know a certain kid that basically, like...
Bless you.
Yeah, Gonter. The kid's Gonter. The fucker didn't mute his mic and ran off. Mute your fucking mic!
No, because I'm telling the story. I'm going to wait for this motherfucker to finish.
Go ahead.
He's doing that on purpose, too. Anyways. So I have a personal story here. Like, someone literally, like, basically... while their parents were basically taking a shower and stuff like that, went into their room, stole the card from their purse, went down and bought $300 worth of Fortnite shit.
Yeah.
And because of that, their fucking phone bill got turned off, and they had no idea what the fuck happened.
And then I'm pretty sure they didn't get the money back. Because Epic Games doesn't want to do that. And I'm not saying that Epic Games is the worst fucking people ever.
Terrible fucking.
No, what had happened was they found out, got their account banned, and then the person started crying because their account got banned and started fucking around the house and stuff like that, breaking shit. And then later, basically, got their account back and did the exact same thing over again.
Yeah.
And so that's an addiction problem?
That they're making kids... I had my niece and nephews. They were moved in with me here. They used to actually physically fight each other and scream and cuss and didn't give a fuck about being ground or whatever because this game... just takes over their fucking brain. It's like Season of the Witch, Halloween 3, where it's like fucking sounds like, yeah, you remember that? You just watched that recently or whatever.
Oh yeah, and
yeah,
it's like
just like that.
I do 100%. I get everything that you're saying, and it's like yes, 100% is addiction. This is a problem. I'm not saying video games aren't the problem here, but it's like there has to be this kind of balance. It's like yes, this stuff needs to be stopped, and this stuff needs to be not fucking advertise to kids because Ruthless right now is basically not so much losing his shit. He's basically talking a lot of good shit there because we did have this conversation a couple weeks ago. ARPG, I believe it's episode 11. So check it out if you want to hear Ruthless fucking actually mad just losing his shit on this stuff because this is gambling. This is a problem that is being advertised so much to kids and parents aren't basically giving enough of a shit to understand what the actual fuck's going on. So I gotta say there are issues on both sides. So I'm going to skew more towards the issues are with the video games because they're putting this platform out there. But we can't forget there's also the other issue of making sure your kids, like, either you understand and they understand how these things fucking work. Because, like, we have all had to deal with, like, some kind of shit growing up where we were addicted to some sort of media and had to be taught we can't buy this stuff, we can't do that. Like, how many of us grew up with Pokemon cards?
Yeah, no, and those are kind of crazy too because your
I
mindset
was
you don't know what's in
addicted
it.
as fuck to Pokemon cards. I remember trading a bunch of cards for a bunch of more cards, and my mom fucking hit me because she's like, "This card was so expensive. Why'd you trade this one card for a bunch of these other cards?" And I had to kind of explain to her how it worked. But like, yeah, I traded like a $20
In
card for like
between the
$10
slaps.
worth of other cards.
In between the slaps.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course, that's how you know.
Yeah.
I'm married.
No, wait.
But,
Charizard.
like we had fucking Pokemon. Like it wasn't as easy for us to get, Pokemon cards as it is for microtransactions. But it's like there is that level there that has to be there from the parents' perspective, because we can't expect media to be raising our kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the parents can't, like the thing, especially with poor parents, that they can't always be around and watch everything that their parents do. So like it is the responsibility of basically like everything around them to make sure like, yeah, these kids aren't getting addicted to things while these parents are basically working hard and everything like that to make sure their lights are still on and everything like this.
Yeah.
Like
and
it's
that's
not to say they aren't, especially like households with only one parent. That shit's hard.
And I understand. I think that they should do is what they did with the Apple Store and the Google Play Store, where instead of free, it's get. So it's like, and it says, hey, there are microtransactions in this game. I think that's probably something that they should start doing. It's like, hey, there are, or you need to have, like, there are ways around it that, again, because the video
Damn,
game
Gary's
is
talking about being in with the rubber hose.
anyway, there are ways that it's like, yes, this is a issue. There needs to be some sort of regulatory board to control this shit, to know it's like, hey, how is this gonna fucking work? It's like, right now it's like no one cares.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I hate to keep going on about games and everything. We'll get out because I know some people are probably like, all right, man, enough. I love this shit. You guys are fucking
let me play my Call of Duty and not have to think about the children.
Exactly, but
Fuck them kids.
the worst part about everything too is just like because we're talking about kids and everything, but it's like, okay, well, the adults, because there's tons of adults are fucking gamers that have addiction problems now because of games, and I feel like a big part of that too is these games coming out and they're not full. Like you spend $60 on something, there's a reason why you want to spend another $60 because the $60 you first spent is just to get the physical like proof. I have this game, yay! But like there's so much shit that is in the game still. It's like you just got an incomplete product. No industry in the food, in the fucking even in casinos, nowhere else in any industry do you buy something at full price and get half of the item that you want.
Look, I'm gonna say this straight up. I've never met anybody in my entire life that paid for a video game, hated it, and then paid more for it. I've spent more money on a video game than everyone in this party combined times two, and I've never fucking done that.
And
if I hate a video game, I'm done giving it money.
Hey, Alan, think about No Man's Sky, where they didn't have to pay more money, but they did buy something that they were promised they were going to get something else, and that game never happened until 3 years later, where it was too late. Because No Man's Sky now, you play it now, it's probably really fucking fun. It's probably amazing.
I'm thinking about playing
fun
it.
as hell. The thing is it's a different game now when it came out. Because when I played it day one launch. So when I played it, I was like, oh, this is a cool exploration planet. I went to a bunch of planets.
But like what you just said, and the only reason why I'm interrupting you is because like you said a perfect thing that I have a huge issue with is it was a perfectly different game now. Well, when I buy a soda, like in the second half of its lifespan, it doesn't turn into Coke.
Okay,
it's
there are things that do that. Lollipops do that shit all the time. Fucking Tootsie Fruit changes into a chocolate halfway through. Second of all, when I played it day one, like very first day, and what I played was an exploration game where I got to explore weird, interesting new planets, upgrade my ship, and discover interesting new species. Now, is that the game they promised? No. Did I have fun with it? Fuck yeah. I clocked in like fucking 50 hours. I was addicted to it. I fucking loved it. And then basically after 2 years and a bunch of different updates, it's now Minecraft in space. So it's like, I get what you mean that there are a lot of video games that have this fucking problem, but it's like, there are video games that don't necessarily have this fucking issue. And there are a lot of stuff that's like, it is on the own. It's like, should I have waited a couple of days and then looked at reviews? Yes. Should you look at reviews for video games that you're not sure of? Yes. Are there developers that actually know what the fuck they're doing and don't fuck you over? Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, but at the same time, it just like for me, I've been personally affected by this so many fucking times that it's just I have a hatred for it. But hey, it is what it is. It's just one day, man. These motherfuckers. Like, yeah, I know things are starting to change in a positive light. I know that, they're being more honest about certain things. They actually talked about taking off microtransactions. Even GameStop's changing. They're like, hey, fuck buying new video games. You know what? Come here and have a good time. Like, we don't give a fuck. Just come here.
Just stay in our store. You're more likely to buy something if you're in the store longer.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, okay, things are starting to change. I've been talking shit about these motherfuckers so long, and things are starting to change. But at the same time, just last month is when the casino thing came up for Grand Theft Auto. So that's why I'm just kind of like, oh, here we go again with the bullshit. But we'll see what happens at the end of the year. I'll finally get off games. So, yeah, man.
You won't, but at least you're trying.
I mean, I'm trying to like stop playing games. I'm actually trying to get into movies now. I'm trying to like just get into something else because, you can't even argue this because me and you talk about this all the time. Where it's been almost a year now, guys. It's 8 months into this fucking year, and not a single fucking game I felt. Man, good thing I spent $60 on that. Like I feel like a dumb fuck. I wasted so much money.
There's not a
You know
thing
what?
yet.
Forget about movies and games and shit. Go into the makeup community.
Get
your cheeks.
Yeah, I think a few of us might not be able to.
I'm good on that one.
Yeah, because here's the thing, and I'm gonna bring this up to you and Rox. You guys don't feel like you're being fucked as much as the gamers are when it comes to like the makeup places?
Well, Nikki, have fun with that one.
Well, I mean, I'm legitimately curious. Like,
Well, it's obvious. The beauty community does take advantage of people. Like that's obvious, but we still want to look cute, so we still do it.
yeah, but it's almost like there's so much of that shit going on that it's like it almost makes you feel like you're inferior when you're walking through all these advertisements. Like, hey, buy this, or you can't have this if you don't have this, and blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the day, you end up feeling like, am I not as attractive because I have to use all this crazy shit, but now I have to get a job just to pay for this crazy shit because it's fucking like, I mean, it's really, really expensive. And I don't know, like there's no reluctance from you at all?
Well, yeah, that's stuff we already know. But the thing is, we kind of have to do it because otherwise, if we just go out without makeup or anything like that, no one really pays attention to you. And you guys can try to say obviously we pay attention to you. Like, no, you don't. You guys are the main ones hyping up women who have their faces all painted up and everything like that in Instagram photos and liking them. So it's just we kind of have to do this, but at the same time, we also wear makeup to compete with other girls too when it comes to jobs and all this other stuff. Because if we don't, we lose.
Okay, I mean, Rox, do you feel that? I mean, do you experience the same kind of thing? Do you feel like, okay, I know what this industry is about, and I don't mind getting into it because it's like, yeah, I'm gonna buy this shit. It's gonna make me look better. Like, I have no issues.
Absolutely everything that Jet said. She basically summed it up well. Like, even when you go to a job interview, you could come in there looking crusty. And then you got a girl next to someone who looks like Krusty McCrusterson, and she has her wings on, she's got a little blush, lipstick on, she looks clean and put together. Who are you gonna choose? Realistically, just right off the bat, you pick.
Drop a knife in the mid. Say there's only room for one.
Without looking at their resume, I'm just saying, Alan, God, just take the fucking example for what it is. But obviously, you're gonna pick for someone who focuses more on their looks a little bit cleaner. It presents a better image of the company that you're working for.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess that's your point too. Go ahead.
There's also, with the expensive thing, Ganja knows that a little too well.
Mm-hmm.
No, he gave me permission. He's like, yeah, go to Ulta, buy what you need. I didn't go overboard. I didn't get a bunch of expensive ass skincare or anything. I just got some basic essentials, like an eyebrow pen, some eyeliner, some cream, a small little perfume. And Ganja fucking picks up the receipt. I'm in the other room. I just hear him yell out, "Damn, $250! What did you fucking buy that cost $250?" The bag's right there. You can
This
look
guy
through.
just spends $90 on a fucking keyboard I told him not to get.
As he spends $120 on a fucking pizza.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
$300
I'm never gonna get
$150
more and
tweeters.
more every single day.
And $360 for a fucking ounce of weed, but we're not talking about me right now.
But here's the thing too, Ganja. When you're in that situation as well, was there anything in there that you felt like, okay, you know what? I see it. As she unloads all the makeup and all the fucking craziness, okay, this makes sense. This looks like $250. Was there any point?
Nah, man, because I don't know brands and stuff. They all kind of look the same to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's when people get into painting and stuff like that, there's different brushes, there's different fine points, there's different ways that the tip can be blended in, and more for a flat surface, sometimes more for a sharp surface where they do a dot in. But honestly, man, I did not see $200 worth of what she got.
Man, motherfucker, I'm gonna go on their side because I get it. Because generally, it's like shoes. The more expensive something is, that's the quality and the brand that goes with that. Motherfucker, I bet you spent $200 on shoes once.
No.
He did. He did. You can't even front about that. I saw the receipt in the picture that you sent me. You can't hide nothing from me.
Look, hey, Nike's on my feet. Keep my set complete, okay?
Over here trying
Yeah,
to lie.
exactly,
Get called out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever spent that much on fucking shoes.
Oh, fuck no. I legit hate buying shoes. Every pair of shoes I've ever had has been a hand-me-down because I hate buying shoes.
Yeah, you're also a fucking elf.
You a fat bitch. But you gotta wear 2 shirts in order to cover your gut.
You damn right.
Shit, son.
My
Why don't you go give it a
tummy.
suck? Call
Yeah,
me
look at some
Santa.
Winnie the Pooh motherfucker over there.
You damn right. The balls are ready and presented, sir.
Holy shit.
That just came out of nowhere. I was just like, the
Alan,
knife fight. It started.
That was a
That was
bitch.
a knife
Alan
fight.
going
And
for
Alan
the
came out with a
throat tonight.
bazooka. Fucking crazy.
I'm sick of this shit.
Kirk is like, he brought in the referee. Holy shit, guys, chill out. No, Alan, that was great right there. Here's the thing. Just because I have the thumbnail on the fucking thing with Shia LaBeouf, we're gonna talk about this, and then we're gonna get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Honey Boy. Here's the thing, man. When I looked at that peanut butter falcon fucking thing, I was like, man, this is some silly shit. It looks like some Swiss Army Man stuff, and apparently it wasn't. It was
What's
kind
all
of
this shit named after food?
yeah,
I
that
don't
was
know.
another weird thing. Well, peanut
know
butter
why.
falcons because I guess. And by the way, okay, so you reviewed this with one of us, correct or no?
No. We looked at the trailer. I don't know if we're gonna get a screener for this.
Okay, because Peanut Butter Falcon basically is a movie where I don't know if the actor is also with Down syndrome, but the character for sure is. And he's really into wrestling. The whole thing's about them like trying to make it to this fucking wrestling event or whatever. And
Sure.
I guess he calls himself the Peanut Butter Falcon. So it's like you think, wow, what a crazy name, and man, it's some stupid, silly shit. But you watch the movie and it's like apparently super emotional and deep and all this crazy shit's going on. Then you get, and this movie just barely released this week. I think it actually came out yesterday. So then you get this trailer at the same time for Amazon, of all places, called Honey Boy, which is basically just chronicling the life of Shia LaBeouf before he got famous, and just dealing with his dad and dealing with all the stress of just Hollywood and just kind of. I think they actually chronicle some of the things he was doing too after he was famous, like this fucking.
Oh yeah, because the car crash is after he became famous. But yeah, it's Shia LaBeouf playing his dad, and it's basically just him from when he was a kid to Even Stevens to Transformers to him basically losing his mind. And it's like
To the
you get-
racist outburst.
probably. I
probably.
mean,
If he puts that in there, I will give him props.
again, probably, but it's like it's one of those things where it's like you get it's not so much it's not apologizing. Like people basically review saying it's not apologizing for Shia LaBeouf. It's just kind of giving you an idea of why this person went nuts. And it's like, yeah, it's basically chronicling the abuse that he had to deal with both from the industry and his fucking parent figure of how to deal with this. And it's like this could be really interesting because you usually don't get to see that much shit talking. Someone describing it as "I hate you, Dad," the movie.
Yeah,
you know,
basically.
you know what movie this would also who else this would also work for, this type of movie?
Who?
I don't know if there is a movie like that out, but the dude from Home Alone.
Oh, Macaulay Culkin.
Oh,
Yeah,
there'll be the sequel.
No, I would really like something like that. And in Amazon, by the way, too. Like, recently, The Boys is apparently the most binge show they've ever had on their fucking platform, and now they got this coming out. But no, I just gotta give love to Amazon, just kind of doing such a good job and just being kind of like quick with it. I mean, like Shia LaBeouf is trending because of the Peanut Butter Falcon thing, but now you got this, and I'm like, dude, you fucking, you're just right on the money here, dude. This looks like something that's produced as low as like an A24 film. It looks like fucking mid '90s to me, a little bit.
Except for some of the effects that they're doing for like some like trying to replicate some of the movies, like that plane scene seemed pretty excessive. But like, I'd be surprised this movie is more than 20 million. But it seems like it's coming in pretty cheap. But it's like, yeah, it's chronicling like the abuse, and it's like I'm sure it's gonna be weird as fuck. I am curious to see it because like he did go through some shit. So I'm like, I wonder if this is gonna shed light and try to explain it.
Yeah, and Rock's gonna ask you really quick. Have you ever been a fan of Shia LaBeouf at all?
Well, not like an obsessed fan, but like he's been in a couple things that I like. He was good in Holes.
Yeah,
Holes is such a good
Holes.
movie.
Forget about him being in Holes.
Way better than the book, by the way.
Oh, get the fuck. Get the fuck.
Dude, Holes is a good book, but that book is miserably depressing.
So that's an issue for you?
Yeah,
Like-
miserably depressing. Yes, like I can get depressing, but fuck, that book is like nonstop depression.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that kind of helps. I mean, I think most
Damn,
people
Aleph,
just
it's
kinda-
not happy-go-lucky. You just
I'm
go
not.
fucking dark.
Neither is the fucking movie. The movie's not happy-go-lucky. It just has a happier ending than not at all.
I mean, also like from what I've seen, like from a lot of people, like Holes is actually one of the only books that actually is written basically perfectly.
Yeah, I'm
No,
looking
it's
here
a
too.
good book. I have my issues with it.
Ron Purdy says there was no apology for Crystal Skull. Yeah,
That's not his fault.
It's not his fault, but then there's certain things where I'm like, okay, it's kind of your fault. Like Transformers 2 was his fucking fault. Like
Was it though?
he's trying to get my head. Megatron's trying to read the signs.
Yeah,
in my
but is
head.
that his fault or is it the director's fault?
No, but he needs to come on. Like no.
The director told him to act crazy, A director's job is to literally in the name. It's like, hey, act crazy. Okay, you're too crazy. Michael Bay was like, oh, that's a perfect level of crazy. Can you crazy it even more? It's like, you gotta blame the. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna blame
He
Shia
did that
LaBeouf.
in Eagle Eye too, though. In Eagle Eye, he was like, oh,
I like
He
doing Eagle
also
Eye.
he also did it in that one movie where he spied on the neighbors because his foot broke.
I don't remember.
Oh
the movie.
yeah, I remember. Oh, God, what was it,
Suburbia,
Insomnia?
some shit like that.
Oh, is that a Suburbia Insomnia?
Oh, Insomnia. Okay, yeah.
No, that's
shit.
not Suburbia. It's like some suburban horror film.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
But
broke my
was-
leg, so I'm gonna spy on my neighbors.
Oh no,
That's,
because
that's really weird.
what it is he's upstairs. He has a telescope to look outside, and then he just looks down for some reason and sees some shit happening.
Oh, fucking Disturbia.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
We figured it out eventually.
I should have known this because the Double Toast of Chat actually
I know. I know that's all by Rihanna.
Yeah. But yeah, man. So I mean, yeah, I guess I can see how you're like, well, I'm not a huge fan of him, but he's been on shit that's been like not terrible.
He was great in Fury.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, he was great in it. I just hate that fucking movie, but he was great in it.
Okay, we'll argue about that movie one day, but he just as like a random tank dude that's just really good with a machine gun. Like he looked the part, like he looked like what a soldier probably looked like. He acted that way. He did everything he needed. Like I loved him in that movie.
Yeah, man. So I mean, hey, man, I do like him. I like the intensity he puts into stuff. I don't like the behind the scenes shit with everything that's he's done. But it's like I never seen it, and now there's a movie where I'm gonna see it. And I'm supposed to feel good that I spent money to watch this fucking thing when I leave the theater, or I mean, I guess it's gonna have like a multi-release, like theatrical.
Yeah, they're probably gonna do a
possibly Amazon.
VOD and then all that in Amazon. So if you have Amazon Prime, you get to watch it.
Yeah, and it's almost like the whole Irishman thing, where it's theatrical and then also on Netflix. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. Someone in the chat, Ron Purdy, he's saying it's a remake of Rear Window. It's off topic a little bit, but what did you like more, Rear Window or Secret Window? Have you seen both of those?
I have not seen either. I think he's talking about Disturbia as a remake of Rear Window, which it's an old story about hey, you're looking outside and see some bullshit, but you can't really stop it. I've not seen either movies you're talking about, so no, I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah. Those I really
I saw
recommend.
Secret Garden. That was pretty good. I recommend it.
You mean Secret Window?
No, Secret
No,
Garden.
he means
is an
Secret
actual
Garden.
movie.
Secret Window. With Johnny Depp, Ganja?
No,
No? Oh, shit. Okay.
I'm talking about that old school PBS animation shit.
Gon just talked about something completely different.
Oh, I just figured out what he's talking about.
I
Thank you,
never
Jeff.
heard of it. I'm just... Would it be weird if I just look it up really quick?
No.
Go ahead.
Okay, Secret Garden?
Yes.
This
What's
is
it called?
like
The
this.
Secret? What's it called? The Secret Garden or Secret Garden?
Either way, it was a garden that was secret, Jeff.
Was it a movie?
Wow.
No, yeah, it was. It was like a
Was it real?
Yes, it was real.
Yeah, actually, I found it. So here it is right here. This looks silly as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't think it
What the
has a lot
fuck
to
is-
do with
What's this It Chapter 0 shit I'm looking at?
There was an animated version of this, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. This
Yeah,
animated
there's
version.
an animated
Let
version.
me see.
Like right there, it said right underneath animated.
Oh, sorry. But, so,
Yep.
Oh God, what the fuck is that?
See?
This is
Yeah.
worse. This is worse. This is really bad.
Had a crippled kid and shit.
That kid's about to go down the hill and meet Mac from Mac and Me.
Yeah, look at
Wow.
these cats too. At first I thought they were like chained up to him. He's gonna like.
Sorry, is that
See,
fucking Alice in Wonderland?
The
What
first
fuck
time
is
I heard about this movie, I think I had that fucking I had a Rugrats what is it, a
Obsession?
VHS? Like
Oh.
the Rugrat tape that was all
Yeah.
orange and
Oh,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
And this played right before it, and I was just like, damn, this looks terrible.
Nah, for me, it was Jingle All the Way because I think they're owned by the same company.
Yeah,
So it was
you're
this
right.
and Fern Gully that I always saw before I watched.
Man, fuck Fern Gully. Fucking hate that goddamn movie.
Oh, speaking of which, Fern Gully is the reason that Robert Williams didn't fuck with Disney till the end.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I don't know any of these fucking things.
What are you talking about?
Oh, all right. So Fern Gully, his character of the genie was something he lended to Disney because he didn't want it in all the promotions and all that. He just wanted to play a character for Disney because Disney was pretty good with his career in terms of Touchstone.
Yeah.
And they ended up fucking him over because they wanted to beat Fern Gully.
What the?
And because they were saying like, oh, we have Robin Williams as so-and-so, Batty or whatever the fuck his name is. They went and just pushed out all the advertisement to let people know that Robin Williams was the genie against his wishes. And they also put him in like marketing and shit like that and toys.
Yeah, that's the thing too. That never helps in any industry. Just trying to push something fast, just to be somebody else at something. It's like, yeah, well, even if you're early, like what you would think.
What are
would
you
be good-
talking about? That works all the time. Literally, like, what was the fucking Overwatch? Overwatch got pushed out and killed everything around it.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying beat, like, you know what I mean, like in the front, because like everything that was before Overwatch was doing okay until like people kind of got sick of their shit, and it's like, oh my god, something new but kind of the same. But this was the last release of one of these kind of games, so we're gonna stick with this forever. And everything before it just fucking poop, like just went down the shit. Even Team Fortress 2, which was like the king of that kind of stuff, even that lost a bunch of fucking people playing it. Which, I mean, I guess it goes without saying because they've been doing this shit for so long. But like fucking, what was that thing that I kind of pushed on you a little bit? Paladins, was that?
Whatever, yeah. But no, like a lot of those games that came out during the time and even before Overwatch got murdered because, again, Overwatch is super popular. Overwatch has been basically taking ideas other people have been doing and integrating into their game. PUBG and Fortnite have been doing that too, where they're basically stealing from each other because whoever has the bigger fan base is going to have the people there. So it's like if there's a cool thing in Fortnite, the cool thing in PUBG, and they know about it beforehand, they'll steal. That's what MMOs have been doing. So it's like people have been stealing from each other all the fucking time. It's whoever has the biggest fan base, and Disney's always gonna have the bigger fan base.
Yeah, but it's one of the things where I'm like, okay, like it's only room for one winner, and like when that one thing wins, and they keep like just kind of going their pacing for whatever the fuck line it is, everything else is gonna just fucking go down the shitter. So that's why I'm like, yeah, you brought the Overwatch thing, but there was one winner out of that, and that was Overwatch. Everybody else, can you even remember the fucking names of those games?
I will always remember Battleborn because I hate Gearbox and I'm glad it failed.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know why you hate them, because they do Borderlands, so you're an asshole.
Oh, and you wonder why I hate them.
Yeah, they're great. Man.
Borderlands, Duke Nukem, Alien Colonial Marines, and they're never going to make another fucking...
Marines is great.
Oh, it was a colossal pile of shit they got sued for because they basically... Oh my god, don't even get started on that fucking game. But they'll never make another Brothers in Arms game, those fucking assholes.
Jesus, so grumpy.
I love that game series so much. The game series was so good. God, you ever play Brothers in Arms?
No, I haven't.
Well, he likes to play Chuckle Brothers in Arms.
Yeah.
Yes.
Leave
me alone, fucker. So here's the thing. We're gonna get the fuck out here though. Thank you so much, Rox, for coming on. Anytime you want to do this, you can come on, talk about gun violence and all the worst fucking horrible things happening in our
Or
country.
calling out ganja and his shit.
That's it.
Thank you for that.
No, don't do that, babe. Don't do that.
That was fucking right. You fucking spending $300 on shoes.
And before
Trying to sit here and lie.
To my face.
You're a liar. You're a fucking liar.
He lied to everybody today, but it's all good. Here's the thing, though. I also want to just throw a random thank you out there for two people, Jet and Ruthless, because Jet, you've been going through so much of my yelling, trying to like find the right after hours thing for us to do. Cast is apparently the evolution of Rabbit. Rabbit's been dead since July 30th.
Had a week.
Fuck.
Yeah. I thought to say, what the fuck did I do?
Well,
I just sat on my ass.
Well, dealing with my screaming and this doesn't fucking work and fucking shit and goddamn like people like I'm cool on here, but like seriously outside of the show, I'm really fucking mad. What?
Yeah, he's cool on here, y'all. Just here.
I mean, like cool temper wise. I'm not cool. Everyone knows I'm not cool. Fuck you though. I'm cooler than you, bitch.
Yeah, you're not cool. We know that.
What? Target. He already said that shit. You didn't come in here so I make fun of your fucking.
No, you remember. So you remember you are not cool. I'm the coolest one here.
Holy shit.
No, you're clearly not the coolest one because, give that one of us plug.
What?
Yeah.
What does that even mean? I can just stop plugging us on one of us.
No.
I'll start plugging my own shit. Go to my YouTube channel if it still exists.
No, it's just I'm more
watch
saying
more Birdman reviews, and if you still think I'm actually competent, then you can watch more.
I will say, man, so much growth. I did like the stuff. I really did like your old shit.
Hated it.
But I will not watch it now because you've gotten so many different like ways of doing the reviews now from like us, from one of us, from watching a bunch of other shit, whatever. It's like, yeah, your old Birdman shit is so not you now.
Look, long story short, the reason I stopped doing Birdman reviews, not because of time, but because I can't stand doing a review by myself. I need somebody to bounce off of. And just me doing the reviews and having to edit, I'm like, I fucking hate watching these reviews, so I'm just going to stop doing these reviews.
Yeah, it's really hard. Like, people don't really think about that a lot. Like, watching yourself or hearing yourself do any kind of podcasting thing is seriously awful. Unless you have, like, this really crazy ego fucking problem, and then you'll be happy as fuck. So, but yeah, so thank you to Jet, and then thank you to Ruthless, too, for just helping us out with the Discord and everything last week. This time we're going to do it on our own end and see if it fucking works. Hopefully it does. Who knows? We'll give you guys the link to that on our Facebook. So go to our Facebook page, the Chat Attack. You'll see it there. Now, with all that shit said, why don't you tell people about one of us and all that good stuff that you do?
Oh, as long as it's okay. My ganja, he's not going to give me shit for it.
No, you're good.
Any fucking whatever the fuck he thought he said. So yes, if you go to oneofus.net and go to Screener Squad, you're gonna see my name all over the fucking place. We do all sorts of shit. A few things we just finished recording, so be sure to check that out.
That clown's ass.
Sure.
She really does.
And for subscribers, we recorded a Breakfast Bubble episode that'll probably be up tomorrow or Monday. So be sure to check that out in the forums. However you get there, I'm still confused myself, but you guys know how it works. So check that out. Oneofus.net.
By the way,
what?
a subscriber only show. By the way, my idea for that show is called. Hold on, my shit's.
Navigate the site. Here's how you do.
Fuck you, goddamn. No, it's gonna be called Dinner with the Dudes. Cause you have Breakfast Pub. Why don't you guys do a dinner podcast?
Shut up, Diaz.
No, is that not a good idea?
I mean, I don't know what the fuck it'd be about, but sure.
Yeah, just eating there, and then you with your expensive silverware.
I'm not gonna eat on a fucking. I'm not gonna eat on an audio podcast.
People will pay for that, like on Twitch.
I don't give a shit what they'll pay for. They'll pay for a lot of things that I'm not willing to do.
I'm gonna have.
Stop playing video games during the show.
I'm gonna guest star just eating like fried chicken right next to the mic.
God, just stop playing video games during the show. It keeps saying you're playing Star Wars Empire at War.
You motherfucker! No wonder you're saying crazy shit.
I'm not playing games online. I'm trying not to stop it.
Easy, just shut down your fucking Steam. Like, it's not that difficult. Oh, God. Ganja is like 25 and has no idea how to use technology. He's like a 65-year-old man when it comes to technology.
I was trying to install a mod, but it keeps playing it.
Alan. Or not Alan. Ganja. Just... Wait,
Jesus
Illuminati.
Ganja, can you see the screen, or are you too busy staring at the fucking LucasArts logo?
Hey, man, I can do both, all right? Illuminati Podcast, check it out. We talk about cultural stuff, talk about politics, shit on the Democrats every chance we get, even though they're the only hope to save us from Donald Trump. So make sure to check out me, Alan, the Great Ruthless Wonder, talk about all that shit, get down with y'all in the chat sometimes if y'all put some comments. And, of course, make sure to go check out the Metropolis Facebook page. It's a collective of some good-ass reviewers, good-ass artists, good-ass in general. So make sure to check out ARPG Gaming. Those guys are pretty cool. And, of course, check out my show with Subversive History with Ganja Guru. Do not play Star Wars. Do not fucking do it. And we're good.
There's also, on the Metropolis Facebook page, there's also a Patreon, so be sure to check that out. We'll be updating it basically every day as we're getting it ready. So all the links are at the Metropolis page.
Rox, how can they find you?
Definitely do not show up in my hometown, or else I'm gonna shoot your ass. But you can find me on Facebook, Roxanne Flores, right there on the screen. Or if you want to check out some of my modeling shit that's for fun, you can find me at Spot the Fox on Instagram.
Spot the Fox.
I feel like that's a euphemism.
Yeah, I think so too. But I never heard of that before. Spot the Fox.
No, I just got a fox tattoo on my wrist.
Oh. Oh, so it's like one of those things where like it's like a choose your own adventure. No, it's not like that. But like
no,
like,
where's Waldo?
There we go. Where's the fox?
Like that.
Choose your own adventure.
Close enough. I know what you meant. We're all good.
You know what?
No, close enough.
Jet,
no, Alan, we can choose to end this adventure as soon as Jet gives her plug.
Jet, how can he find you?
The only place you can find me right now is on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I have not made any post in a long ass time. I might just make a random one that means absolutely nothing. Just
like
for the show. Shut up! Anyway.
Just don't tag me in it. How about that?
You know what I will? I'm going to make a post right before we get into the after hours. And you know what? The only thing it's going to have is basically a tag with your name in it.
Well, that'll be not as weird as the normal shit you do.
Or also, honestly, I just looked up Fern Gully. This shit looks ugly as fuck.
Fern Gully's a terrible movie.
This is so ugly, and I'm debating whether is this main character black or not, because on the poster she looks pale as shit, but then in the show, like in the actual like screenshot, like she looks darker. She's like what the fuck?
All I know is that Fern Gully is not going to be as good looking as our afterwards. People will see you there. Ganja on that
3, 2, 1.
Attack the cheer. Why does the volume always go low on fucking
I'm making this post right now. Watch me.
I can't wait till
you can do that. You can definitely do that. Alan, why do you hate all things that are fun?
I just hate Jet.
No, you don't. I'm literally your favorite big sister. But I'm your favorite.
I don't know if he knows how to argue that. That's okay.
No.
Thank you, Ron Purdy. It's a weird name. Keep calling you pretty. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Toby. See you guys in the after hours. Check our Facebook, goddammit. Bye!